Happy Friday, everybody. So for the last season of Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the mythic results have just started to roll in. So this one is a mythic list by... Forgot to pull it up. Give me a second. This is Gruul Aggro by Suichi Sato. And hit mythic number 9. Went 105 and 63 for a 63% win rate. The MMR looked really good, no shenanigans going on. The only thing that I noticed in the data was that this deck list was somewhat weak in the mirror matches. However, it went through a lot of changes as they did their mythic climb. So it started out much more split into the Gruul space, and by the end is basically mono red Prowess, splashing green for Snakeskin Veil. And this is really nice right now because of the amount of single spot removal that's being brought in to counter the Slick Shot show off. And so you then got the Snakeskin Veil, which should be relatively free if the mana base is done correctly, running the Copperline Gorge, so the fast land for Gruul, and the Pain Land of the Carplusian Forest. This deck hardly ever gets above 3 lands anyway, so I like it in theory, and we are bumping the land count up to 20, which I think is probably wise. A lot of times the Prowess decks can get away with 18. Depends on how you want to deal with the mulligans. How often do you want to mulligan a one land hand? But as far as the creatures go, we've got the classic Kumano faces Kakazan, the Swift Spears, the Code Breakers, the Picnic Ruiner, and the Slick Shot Show Off. And this will be going away in rotation on August 2nd, so keep that in mind if you are new and returning to Magic the Gathering, that we are going to be losing some of these cards in August 2nd when Bloomborough comes out. The other one that we're going to be losing is the Ancestral Anger, which is pretty nice for the Prowess space because of being able to draw a card as you are also pumping the Prowess for 1 red. And then we've also got the Felonious Rage, which works really well for giving haste to your Picnic Ruiners. We've got the Monstrous Rage, which is really good for giving the Trample to get over your opponent's stuff. Some of the Gruul aggro space will be running like Giant Growth, Audacity to give things Trample. This one deciding not to, at least in its final iteration. Play with Fire is going to be rotating out, but could be replaced with a Shock. And then 3 copies of Lightning Strike were brought in on the final climb into Mythic, and then also the climb up to number 9 in Mythic. They replaced an Urbrask's Forge with the Lightning Strike. So I think part of the reason why it was weak in the mirror was because of the Urbrask's Forge. Makes it better against like Orsov Control or Azorius Control, and but weaker against the other decks, the other mono red decks. So something to keep in mind if you could bring out the Lightning Strikes for an Urbrask's Forge, and then that also kind of makes the 20 lands make a little bit more sense because we're going up to 3. But as is, I think this looks like a pretty fun deck, and I like the idea of let's add just splash the green to try to protect our Prowess creatures. So I'm going to showcase you guys some matches with the list, try to do it justice, although no promises. You never know how a small sample size is going to go. Enjoy. All right, opponent is going first. We've got Fixing for green, which is good because we've got 2 of 3 copies of our Snakeskin Veil. So we're going Operation Invincible Swift Spear. Let's see how it goes. Now, I could shock my Swift Spear. I don't think I'm supposed to wait a turn, because they're likely going to play a body out with Kumano. But technically I could wait a turn, that way I could keep the Snakeskin Veil up. But here it looks like we're just going to be trading blows with our opponent. So the other choice here now is whether or not we Lightning Strike the Codebreaker. Since we're on the draw, we're going to need something to flip it, right? I think I like the Snakeskin Veil the most for a lot of decks you'll be playing against, they'll use removal in response to your Monstrous Rage, and then you use the Snakeskin Veil. So I'd like to do these in pairs with each other. So I'm not sure that this is correct, but I think I'm going to use the Lightning Strike on the Codebreaker. Again, relatively not entirely new to mono red prowess, but definitely not used to playing the snakeskin veils. So when to keep those up is going to be tricky. But if they play a threat here, I think we're just going to start losing. Okay, this was good. Time off with Kumano's okay. Unless they're going to do a big old slick shot show off, and I should have saved the lightning strike. Which is definitely a possibility. Now I could save the snakeskin veil to make sure that they don't use a lightning strike on Swift Spear. Alright, this is a little tricky. Alright, so if we do Kumano, that feels okay. Next turn, can they deal 11 damage to me? Maybe. I don't have any interaction, though, because I used it on the Codebreaker. I think I gotta go for just maximum damage this turn. Hope that they don't have a lightning strike. I guess the other thing too is it's a counter, so it's more damage over time. Oh, Monstrous Rage plus the Snakeskin Veil will make it so that they have to use like a Witchstalker's Frenzy instead of the Felonious Rage, and then we go for the Felonious Rage next turn. Then we just hope we're not dead. Oh, I'm gonna take damage to do this. Okay, so now they only have to deal 10 damage to me. Okay, moment of truth. Ancestral Anger. I like that because they didn't play a slick shot show off. Another Kumano. Okay, so now they've just got to chill, right? They can't like attack me for 4. Oh, okay. So we've got it then. Nice. Okay, well, they drew a lot of Kumanos, all 3 Kumanos on that match. Alright, we've got green if we do get a Snakeskin Veil. We've got a turn 1 Swift Spear that we can then pump up with Anger and Monstrous Rage. So I'm just trying to visualize what this deck would be like if I had a Snakeskin Veil. So then what I could do is I could Ancestral Anger and Snakeskin Veil in response if they have removal. Okay, cool. So we're up against Azorius Control, it looks like. Probably should have done the Forest, although I guess I can do the Forest next turn. So that if I'm going to do this, then what I'm doing is Ancestral Anger, Monstrous Rage, and hope they don't have removal. I think I like the Snakeskin Veil in response to them doing something in response to mine, instead of waiting it for their... Like, I don't think holding up the mana is right with such a low mana base. Now, Felonious Rage we can keep if we do draw a Picnic Ruiner. And now we've got Codebreaker and Snakeskin Veil. If they are going to run something like an Elspeth Smite. They multiple block the Codebreaker, it dies. Maybe this is the round that I leave up the Snakeskin Veil. Because I can only give it +1. They probably multiple block it because the other thing has Trample. I guess I could use the Snakeskin Veil to... save the Fugitive Codebreaker. Okay, do I want to save a piece of mine? Could also Felonious Rage, but I think I will. Still, again, I'm not 100% sure. Not a lot of reps with the Snakeskin Veil. I think I like saving it. It depends on if they temporary lockdown here, though. And they didn't do that. Okay. So now the price that I pay is I don't have something to protect I'm gonna do it on the Codebreaker. Spread out the trample. Get the card draw. So if I'd let the Codebreaker die, I could have made sure that they didn't have spot removal. With the Snakeskin Veil. Faithful Mending's okay, though. They're just trying to draw enough gas to get out of range. Whoa! Hey, okay. So this is hitting for 9. This hits for 5. 14? I think I'm... Oh no, because this gets up. Okay, so this should be lethal. As long as they don't have a Spell Pierce or a Fading Hope. Alright. Let's go. 1 lander. Okay, so this will happen less with the 20 lands compared to 18. These hands always look really great if you draw a land. But because it's a low land count, I don't think I'm supposed to keep a 1-lander. There are some lists that you're supposed to keep a 1-lander. I don't think this is one of them. Okay, so this looks good. We're going to go Copperline Gorge into Kumano, and then Monastery Swiftspear into Monstrous Rage, and then Felonious Rage and Snakeskin Veil, that sort of thing. Is it right to drop the Snakeskin Veil or the Felonious Rage in a vacuum? I'm going to drop the Felonious Rage because I haven't played a lot with the Snakeskin Veil, and it's the reason why we're playing the green. Definitely could be wrong. And looks like another Azorius Control matchup. Last night I was coming up against a lot of Azorius Control, which is why it was fun to play that Boros Humans list with Thalia. This one's a little bit more awkward because now they're on the play, so they can counterspell my Swiftspear, and if they counterspell my Swiftspear, I don't have much going on. I guess I already have green, so no reason to play the Forest. Just, or Pollution Forest just pings me for the red then. Alright, we got the counterspell. See the Make Disappear. Hey, okay. Could Monstrous Rage and put the shields down for Snakeskin Veil. It gets punished by an Elspeth Smite, and they get lost that they're waiting for me to do the Monstrous Rage on. Let's see if they were being smart. Dang it. Okay, so there's the march. So what I shouldn't have done that then. So what I should have done, because I have the Snakeskin Veil, and the whole point of this deck is to protect from that exact circumstance. So don't cast the Monstrous Rage unless you have the Snakeskin Veil up. So what I should have done is just accepted the damage and passed and maybe hit with a Play of Fire at end of turn. That's why they do these things, is like we can learn together, right? If I share all of my information, although it will make you know, some Magic the Gathering content creators make their wins look way better by only showcasing the times that they were right. Again, I try to be just transparent and you know, have a fun time. Now, am I supposed to play with fire here? I think this might be a Wandering Emperor. I kind of want to do the play with fire because I want to grab like a combat trick that can boost the Picnic Ruiner's damage. And I don't think the play with fire is going to have a particularly good target. Okay, not playing with the Snakeskin Veil very well, because if they kill my Picnic Ruiner as I do this play, it's kind of all for naught. Oh my god. Alright, so my opponent is kicking my ass with timing their tricks well and not playing into the Snakeskin Veil. At least we'll be able to get this down without a counterspell. And then the question is whether or not they hit a Sunfall on 5. If they hit a Sunfall on 5, I'm just scooping in shame. Alright, so now we finally have the Snakeskin Veil. We can use the Snakeskin Veil to protect whatever they hit with the Wandering Emperor, because I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to play this turn. Puts them to 7, which isn't quite what I want to do. I've been able to get at least one march mitigated. That would have been huge. Would have been such a huge change to 2-for-1 with Snakeskin Veil.
And I will protect.
So the good news here is even if they create a token, we still get to protect it. And I think they actually should have created a token because it would have traded and given them more options the following turn to exile. Like they could have created the token and then exiled with the Picnic Burner. Doesn't matter because they have 2 Wandering Emperors. Oh joy.
Energy of battle, then guide it like water. My judgment is
Okay, well, we at least get to attack with 2... I think I've got to wipe out the Wandering Emperor here. Because it's too much to deal with. If they're... Like, if they make this into a 3-3, it's not great for me.
years of training.
And now we hope we draw into some of that late game burn. Yes, the late game burn of Copperline Gorge protection. All right, well, if I lose this match, it's not the deck's fault. It's my fault. It was poorly piloted, and they had 3 Wandering Emperors in their top 11.
Run away. You'll be safer.
Wait, they're playing more than a 60-card list.
This is what you
5,
get
6,
for hurting my people.
Yeah, right? 29. Aren't they on a 61? Hard to beat 3 Wandering Emperors. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 62? That little extra cushion against Mill. Alright, we have to draw the perfects.
Keep watch for
That is not the perfects. Still no Wrath, though. Might end of turn Sokenzan and just hang tight for one more turn. But I think we're stopped. Another Memory Deluge? Okay. Main phased, too. Huh. Drink some coffee while we get our ass kicked. I think I will block here because, like, it's gonna block on defense anyway. I guess if I draw a Monstrous Rage, I'd rather not do that. Channel ability is nice because they can't counter it. Because it's not casting a spell, it's like an activated ability. And that is one of the cards that's going to be rotating away, which I'll be sad to see go. Ah, temporary lockdown, okay. Classic Azorius control fashion, they are going to win the game at a very low life total. Felonious Rage lets me draw, like, haste a threat. Maybe it's right to keep there. Alright, if this resolves, there's a chance, right? Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the graveyard. So I could do this, I could flip this for 1 red. So it really depends on whether or not they have a counterspell here. Come on, please, one time. They have 5 cards. It has to be counterspelled. Come on, just do Mirrex. Just pop up, make a Might token. There it is. All right. And with that goes my dreams. What else could we top deck? Another Codebreaker? We do have 1 left. Ooh, Flanker. Yeah. Life gain in a body makes this a lot less likely that we can top deck something. Let's see, double Lightning Strike still works. We do have 3 of those. They're down to 3 cards, but they're about to refuel with the Memory Deluge. And again, when I'm playing by myself, I play with different rules, right? Like, I'm a little bit more likely to play it out so that you guys can see the Azorius control if you haven't seen it before. I think at this point I'd probably scoop if I was just not trying to get an amazing top deck for content, right? Likelihood of winning this game is really low. Okay. I have to attack the Wandering Emperor, otherwise they just exile it the following turn. Or I could try to hold it. I could hold it and hope that they don't have a counterspell, but this turn they're going to get a counterspell. They might even Memory Deluge into a counterspell. So I think I'd rather Slickshot show off and make the Wandering Emperor unable to exile this turn. And then if they have a counterspell, we just know it's kind of whatever. Nice. Alright, so what do we take? We're taking 9. We get 1 more top deck look at it. And they're at 7 life. 9 life with the blocker. Let's see if I top deck a Codebreaker, flip the Codebreaker into a land, draw with the land into a Monstrous Rage, and they attack everything, and they don't have a counterspell. Maybe it's enough. Codebreaker off the top 1 time. No. Alright. GG. Let's see how close we were. Oh, they have a counterspell too. Come on, just counter it. Alright. Oh, because if I block the 5/3 there, they can just pump with the Wandering Emperor, hit me for 6. Like, we were dead next turn. They have any man lands? Just the Mirrex, huh? Oh, there's the Restless Anchorage, too. Alright, lost to Azorius control. Okay, opponent's going first. We've got the Copperline Gorges. Got Swift Spear into Codebreaker, and then Combat Trick. Seems okay. Tiny Bones joins up. I think I will ditch land 3 here. Try to redraw into it. Okay, so this is either the mono black Crimes deck or it's the Orsov discard deck. Looks like it's the Orsov discard deck. And it's the Tithing Blade version. So what they do is Nurturing Pixie into picking up the Tithing Blade. Maybe I was supposed to hold the Codebreaker and try to go for flipping it. on the disguise, but that doesn't seem right. They just have the perfect rollout. Okay. Well, I'm glad I ditched a land, because we drew a whole bunch of lands. But that's the dream curve out from the Orsov discard deck. Eliminate the 2 prowess threats. GG. A lot worse, though, if I had had the Slickshot Show Off to plot around the Tithing Blade and go for the OTK, like in Rakdos Aggro, which I showcased 2 days ago. Well, I showcased the Slickshot list version. But, okay, so we got Flesh Gorger, Lifelink, this taking a giant dump on my dreams. If they go up to 18 life from the Flesh Gorger, I don't think there's any way that we can make it back, right? Could have scooped, I think, when they bounced the Tithing Blade and got the second threat. And again, well, for these videos, I usually play it out until it's until we are certain that we are going to lose. I guess I could top deck a Lightning Strike for the Flesh Forger. So Beseech the Mirror. Nice. Works with the Hopeless Nightmares and the Tiny Bones joins up. And they went and got Shieldred. Alright, well now we're really... now it's just definitely GG. Hey! Oh, okay. Can I deal 17 damage in 1 turn? And how many turns do I have to look at it? Because I could try to deal 20 damage in 1 turn. 22? 7, 9, 11. Yeah, so I've only got 1 turn. So we go for it. We go for the glory. I haven't played a land this turn. So for maximum glory, we need to draw a land here. Nice. I mean, this is all for naught, right? To 9. Up to 13. We got him to 4. That's not bad. Alright, let's see if I can not screw up the Snakeskin Veil this time around. This one looks pretty straightforward, though. We go Kumano into Picnic Ruiner, cast the Monstrous Rage or the Ancestral Anger on the Picnic Ruiner while protecting it with Snakeskin Veil. Yeah, it looks like we're up against a mirror match. Could use the Play with Fire on the Cacophony Scamp. I think I'd rather hold the Play with Fire for Slickshot Show Off. But again, being on the draw here is so awkward. And Scamp can deal a hell of a ton of damage. Alright. I'm going to try to just erase them. Could definitely be wrong. Sticking to the original plan. Well, shoot. Okay, we're changing plans. We're just going to wipe their board. I know I lose the counter on the Picnic Ruiner. But eliminating their threats feels so good. Dang it, I should have left the Scamp alive so I could get rid of the Slickshot Show Off. Now, I could keep up the Snakeskin Veil to protect my Picnic Ruiner from a shock of their own. Or I could do the Ancestral Anger. This did come into the battlefield this turn, so already drew land. So I don't think there's any reason to Ancestral Anger. I'd rather keep up the Snakeskin Veil. And then we just hope they don't one turn kill me next turn. And then we hope we one turn kill them next turn. Math. Let's see. Monstrous Rage is 3. Ancestral Anger is 2. So 5, 14, 16 damage. Plus the Snakeskin Veil. I think we've got it if they don't kill us this turn. Okay, Audacity should be okay. Even with a Monstrous Rage, I don't think we're dead. And they're tapped out, so they're not gonna deal any lethal damage to me. Now, for total min-maxy goodness, because they're tapped out, I can Snakeskin Veil here on the Picnic Ruiner pre-combat, just to be mana efficient, in case we draw something off of the Ancestral Anger that we can cast. And we didn't. Am I short? I think I'm short 1 damage. So that deals 14, 16 damage. They go to 1. Okay, so I should have saved the, I guess I should have saved the shock to try to get 2-for-1s, although they might have a Snakeskin Veil. Maybe I should have counted that out and not attacked, although we still die to the Slickshot Show-Off, right? Alright, here we go. Kumano faces Kakazan. Codebreaker. Snakeskin Veil. What is this? I haven't seen this in forever. Orsov Heroic? Okay. Case of the Uneaten Beast. I think I like going for Codebreaker here because if I draw a land, I can Picnic Ruiner and Felonious Rage and immediately get the double strike. Okay. Voice of the Blessed. It comes in as a 3/3. We might have to Lightning Strike that. Oh, but this can sacrifice it to save the voice. +1/+1 and gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. Oh, there's a possibility we didn't draw the land. Dang it. There's a possibility that they block with the Voice of the Blessed and try to give it the indestructible, and then we can Lightning Strike in response to them sacking the escort. It's thin. And then if I have to do a trick to save the Kumano, it's not great. Alright. 2-for-1, I'll take it. Extraction Specialist, okay. Wait, really? The Escort? Kingdom for a land. Either way, they trade and gain life. They block the Codebreaker, though. I can save it. Still want to save the Felonious Rage for the Picnic Ruiner. So the question is whether or not I do a Kumano pre-combat to pump the Codebreaker, and I think I do. Okay. Alright. Now, they're gaining a lot of life. Might be too much to get through. Warren of the Third Path can kill Kumano, that's fine. I've got the Vigilance. Kind of an interesting deck. Okay, there we go. Oh, that was huge. So they can sacrifice this to make this into a 3-2 indestructible, which will eat this. But... oh, they can also eat the Picnic Ruiner. Interesting. Still think it's Picnic Ruiner plus Felonious Rage. Let's have at you. You can eat my etchings if they want to. They take way too much damage, right? Oh no, because they can block with the Escort and sack it for Lauren to go up to 3-2 and eat my Picnic Ruiner. So this is only dealing 2 damage, and I lose my Picnic Ruiner. I don't feel like I can't attack, though. Snakeskin Veil waiting a turn doesn't save it because I'd need to get its toughness higher than 3. Alright. Oh, they did not block that the best way. Wait, and they didn't sack it? Okay, mistakes were made. They could have blocked the Codebreaker with the 1-1, sacked it, given the other thing indestructible, killing my Picnic Ruiner, taking 2 damage from the Kumano. Oh, this looks pretty good. I even need to, I could hold the Sokenson, because we don't need to play it. Go with the Felonious Rage on the Picnic Ruiner. I don't even need to do that pre-combat because it'll already have Double Strike. They probably go for blocking the Codebreaker. Snakeskin Veil trades the Acklazotz anyway. Let's see how you block. Okay, so they're going to block the Picnic Ruiner. Saves my Picnic Ruiner. And then the question is whether or not I should pump the Codebreaker for 2 more damage. I think I'll save it. I don't gain any life because they blocked the Double Striker, not the Codebreaker. Okay. This is like a weird Orsov life gain deck. Oh, but... okay. As long as Codebreaker's alive, everything's okay. Do I want a 3-3 Double Striker? Or do I want to protect the Codebreaker? We know they just have a Swamp. This is going to be a 3-3, which will eat my Codebreaker. I think that's a problem. I think I'll go with pumping the Codebreaker. That could be wrong. Maybe it's right to do the Picnic Ruiner. Oh, it's going to be a 4-4. Ah, okay, they hit a land. Okay, Lightning Strike. Might be able to do it. Let's see how they block. Could also force them to chump. If I shoot the bat, then they're forced to chump block the Amalia. You're gonna bring back Outlaws though. Picking Gruul deals 4 damage, so Lightning Strike would leave them at 1. If they just chump block here. I'm gonna go with removing the bat. So that would have been 2 more damage if I had pumped the Picnic Ruiner instead. Because now they can flip this. Extraction Specialist. They're gonna crawl back here. I'm just not having a good morning. Okay. That's interesting. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we're going to play out the Sokenzon, play the Codebreaker, and flip it for the disguise cost to draw. Again, if they block the Codebreaker, they gain the 3 life, they get the Amalia back onto the field, and then we have Outlaws, so I'm a little bit worried that we're just shy, but the draw off the Codebreaker might do it. We could also attack with the Codebreaker instead of disguising it. This one's actually kind of tricky. Okay, so if we're dealing... That means if we deal 6 damage, they go to 3. I think we're in trouble. So now they're going to go to 9. How do I get around this? Maybe I wasn't supposed to turn that up immediately. Maybe I was supposed to wait. Oh! Slick Shot Show Off is huge. Okay. Gumdrop Poisoner. They get to remove my Codebreaker. Oh, I got 12 life. Come on. Oh, that's right. Outlaws discards a card. I guess Swift Spear is probably my worst. It's not getting through on the ground with that giant 8/8 Amalia. They're at 13 life. Alright, well, that's game. So close. This just gets blocked here. Eat that. Yeah, alright, let's just send it. I think we're dead either way. Could just attack with the Slick Shot Show Off, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Alright. And then what, they've got an Amalia that's, or an Outlaws that's growing every turn. Getting them life every turn. It's too bad. Like we even lost this match against somebody who was making some questionable mistakes for sure. But life gain is a hard counter to Prowess. It's a really good one if you're bumping into a lot of the mono red Prowess space. I think I'm ready to scoop it up at this point though. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it, even though we didn't have the best winning streak. I hope it at least gives you an idea of what the deck is doing and some of the decisions. I definitely didn't play it perfectly. When to keep up the Snakeskin Veil is tricky, and I do think that, at least in my experience, the meta has started to feel a little bit more tacked against the Prowess decks. So, congratulations on Suichi Sato's climb to Mythic number 9 with that list, but struggling a little bit this morning. It doesn't mean it's a bad deck, right? I mean, that's the thing the reason why I do these videos is to showcase that, like, every deck, even if it's a really amazing deck that hits Mythic, top Mythic, right, can have bad matchups and will have bad matchups. It's okay. It's all part of Magic, and if you continue playing, you will eventually get into Mythic. It's usually more just a matter of how often do you play Magic than it is anything else. So eventually I will explore something other than the aggro slickshot space. It's just very, very popular right now in Best of 1. Definitely looking forward to playing the Orsov control list, though, after all of this aggro. Looks like it's currently winning the poll on here on the community tab. Nobody's submitted anything for community deck tech, so I don't know if we're going to be doing that next week. But it's also possible everybody's just out partying on the 4th of July weekend, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks for being a part of my community. Hope you enjoyed these videos. Leave me a comment below letting me know. Always helps boost my spirits, especially after games like that. And I will catch you all tomorrow. Take care.